What is your trick to fall asleep fast, that doesn't involve drugs? Write a to-do list of what you have to do tomorrow. According to this study in 2017, https://psychnet.apa.org/record/2017-47677-001 this reduces the average time to fall asleep by 9 minutes. Physically exert yourself earlier in the day. Something that really gets you nice and sweaty, heart racing, all that. Just not too close to bedtime or it will have the reverse effect. I also like some chamomile lavender tea, smiley face. Strict routine. No TV in the bedroom. Pick a letter and list in your head all the names you can think of that start with that letter. Sleep brought on by boredom. Tea and a textbook about American civics. There's this meditation podcast I came across several months ago. They have different meditations that are from 5 to 15 minutes long. You can pick ones that take you through relaxing your body, part by part, and they have soothing music in the background. There's one that runs 14 minutes, 4 minutes of relaxing talk and then 10 minutes of just calming music that almost never fails to put me to sleep. I've played a few thousand hours of Overwatch, so when I'm trying hard to go to sleep, I walk through the maps from first point offense spawn to last point defense spawn. I go through all the health pack locations also. It's like counting sheep to me. Meditation. Reading a book on paper. Put down this screen. Look at a static object. Don't even use your phone or tablet to read. Crippling depression. Watch YouTube videos about space. Spacetime is good. Put on my earplugs, connect to my phone and play old blue songs like Westlife. Name it, in a matter of minutes you are already fast asleep. Do something repetitive that requires very little brain power, like super simple math or reading a really boring book. Watching something I've seen 100 times helps, too. I count to 100 seconds slowly in my head and then halfway through I realize I'm half asleep because I went from counting numbers to saying the ABCs thinking I was counting. It's so ridiculous. Anyways, the days I'm not tired enough and I end up making it to 100, I start over until I fall asleep. These are the 2 things I do. Lay on your back. Arms by your side, don't cross your legs, lay flat. Flex all the muscles you can. Legs, arms, toes, tongue, all of them. Do this for about 30 seconds or as long as you can. Then without moving at all, go as relaxed as you possibly can. When I first started doing this I felt like I was going to fall into paralysis or some shit. Don't move for as long as possible, and by don't move I mean don't even let your body have a twitch. Ignore the itches, no facial expressions. Don't do anything except breath. Stay in that complete relaxed state till you fall asleep. If you don't fall asleep after like 10 or 15 minutes, you may need to try again. I've even done this on the floor, then climbed into bed after a few minutes. To do the same thing again. Sometimes I'll go get a drink of water if the night is really bad. I learned things about 10 years ago trying to get into lucid dreaming. But for me I never got that to work. I use that last method anytime I'm having a real hard time sleeping. The other thing I do is lay on my stomach, bend my knees so my feet are on the air, spread my knees and use the blankets to kinda balance my legs in the air, then go to that relaxed state. I do this one more often. Pretending to do something that is critically important. Like when I was in university, and I had an essay due the next day or something, I always find myself suddenly feeling tired and up still procrastinating, even though my class depended on this. So I pretend to write an essay or something. Oh, by the way, fuck you brain. Fuck you. I am so sick of your fucking your shit. I like to imagine I'm on a train, one of those old-fashioned ones with sleeping compartments and everything. Randomly picture where the train is going through: mountains, rainforest, desert, always somewhere quiet and peaceful, never a city. Stare out the window at the imagined landscape as it rolls by. A sleep mask really helps too. You just gotta find one that's comfortable enough where it's not going to annoy you. Relax. Slow your breathing to slow your heartbeat. Stay up for a long time until you get very tired. IDK if it works, cuz I keep forgetting to try it, but tense all of your muscles and then relax them. Supposedly it can also help with nervousness a little. Sleep With Me podcast. Knocks me out every time. I try to imagine myself at the ski hill, getting on the lift, watching the scenery slowly change beneath my ski tips and the trees all around me. Studying the hill and watching the people below me as I ride to the summit. Feeling the wind cut and watching the snow fall until I finally exit the lift. After that it's just big fat powder turns until I fall asleep. I do kind of the opposite of the empty room type thing. Instead I constructed a fantasy place in my mind. I only ever really think about this place in my mind when I'm trying to fall asleep. This place has a path to get to it and I go down that same path every time, but I add on things or change the scenery a bit. For me this helps massively with intrusive thoughts. Eating well and on somewhat of a schedule has helped too. If I'm wanting something to munch on after dinner I'll do oatmeal of some variation. I don't do caffeine after 2 on weekdays. Learning very basic meditation can be very helpful, but that can take some figuring out what method works for you. Having an evening routine can be very beneficial to sleep. Hell, throw in some sleepy time tea and a slow burn book or something repetitive. Good luck. I like to pick a subject, i.e., dogs, beers, cereal, etc., and name them beginning with the one starting in a and working my way down. I typically get to H before my mind is at ease enough to fall asleep. Works like a charm. Like 4, 6, 8. Or maybe it's 4, 7, 8 IDK, something like that. Basically breath in for X seconds. Hold breath for Y seconds. Exhale for Z seconds. Couple rounds of that is helpful. First, I bake a pan of delicious brownies. Then, I throw the brownies out on the lawn in the rain. Finally, I lay in bed and ponder why I would do such a fucked up thing until I fall asleep. I'm over 50 and have been struggling with going to sleep for a long time. There's no one trick that works for very long successively, and sometimes nothing works at all. But here are 2 different starting points that have the greatest success rate for me. Focus on a scenario that's just interesting enough to keep your attention for a short period of time, but that is at heart pretty tedious, structured. So coming up with words that start with successive letters of the alphabet in a theme. Or lately, I'm literally just counting, but focusing on visualizing the numbers in a big display with alternating colors and background shapes. I've used much more interesting versions of this too, but ultimately those are less successful because my brain is too involved and wants to keep thinking about it at the expense of sleep. Focus on relaxing your body. Again, intense focus is the key here. Variation on this include tensing all your muscles and holding it before relaxing, once or repeatedly. Focusing on each part of your body successively becoming heavy, or tension streaming out or flowing through and out of parts of your body. But as others have said, though, if you're having a persistent chronic problem, you're going to have to go beyond tricks to get to a good place. And that's going to involve boring and or possibly inconvenient lifestyle changes. And yes, possibly some drugs too. I certainly don't know if that's what you need or not, or maybe not yet. But I do know I regret not taking it more seriously and making those changes sooner. Relaxation exercises or listening to ASMR videos on YouTube with earbuds. Shit. No drugs, no dice. Calm music in earbuds. A fan going so I'm cold-ish. Sleep on my stomach holding my pillow under my head. Reading. Calms your brain. When I doubt, fap it out. Try reading anything outside of your preferred genre. Lie down, close your eyes. Relax your face. Trust me on this, relax your shoulders and clear your mind. Getting punched in the jaw. I have perfected my own art of completely emptying my mind. Think of a room but nothing in it. Then expand the room and keep going. Soon enough you're asleep. YouTube videos. Specifically people with soothing voices that just talk about whatever. Melatonin supplements also help a lot. They're available over the counter in the US at least. Non-fiction audiobooks. Be really tired. If you're fighting to stay awake, then when you decide to go to sleep, it happens fast. Diaphragmatic breathing. Do it and you will be out like that. Hot sauna. 1 cold beer, more sauna. Finish off with a cold shower. Watching The Office, cuddling, daydreaming a fantasy. Concentrate on something boring and repetitive. That's how counting sheep works. Your mind is distracted on something uninteresting so you fall asleep. I personally like to picture people on a swing going up and down. I also like to imagine boats rocking back and forth with the waves. I like to think about a personal project I'm working on or wanting to work on while falling asleep. It's involving something I enjoy, so it's relaxing, and there's no pressure associated with it, since it's about a project that I want to do for my own edification. I find I usually have stress-free, fun, adventure dreams. Possibly related? Listening to rain on the speakers. Smoke a bowl, eat some cake, and rub one out. Night-night. Masturbation. Imagine a time I was really exhausted. Mine couldn't keep my eyes open. Just pretend I'm back in that situation. Find a comfortable position that you can maintain without moving. Say to yourself, feet go to sleep, and concentrate on your feet for a moment. Ankles go to sleep, and concentrate on your ankles. Calves go to sleep, and concentrate on your calves. Shins go to sleep, and etc., all the way up. I tend to imagine a fairy light, like Tinker Bell from Disney, putting a sleeping spell around the body part as I concentrate on it, though that is probably a manifestation of my age when I was taught this trick. I also tend to reaffirm once I hit certain stages, everything under my hips is asleep, and concentrate. I also do this at torso, under my neck, and head. The final one is, brain go to sleep, and I blank my mind. This is the only way I can successfully get my brain to shut up. I hope it helps. You know those twitches you get sometimes while falling asleep. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/hypnic_jerk:. I clear my mind and trigger a few fake ones. After a few seconds I'll get a real one, and that's generally my last memory. Binaural beats. I set them on a stereo rather than headphones for an hour Bluetooth to my phone and usually I'll fall asleep in about 15 minutes. Great for helping your mind to relax, which is what usually keeps me up. A good starter is the Schumann resonance. https://www.headspace.com/ Wish I knew. I can pretty much just make myself go to sleep almost anytime. Obviously there are still t.es that's not happening, but generally I can fall asleep sitting or laying down. I tried to scan through the comments to see if this was mentioned. Sorry if it already was. In high school I would listen to music at night and count the beats. Over the past 20 years, I would count my breaths, or my husband's breaths. I read on Reddit about 2 months ago a new strategy that has worked for me since. The person said to come up with 3 unrelated words for each letter of the alphabet and go through the ABC. Before you get to Z, you'll be asleep. I personally like to pick a certain subject, names, math terms, bands, song names, kitchen items, and find a word for each letter of the alphabet for that subject. 9 out of 10 times I fall asleep before I get to M, and that is amazing for me. Good luck. No TV or screens 1 hour before bed. When my head hits the pillow I think about darkness. Soft, cool, black darkness. Almost like a mantra. If that doesn't work, I double numbers in my head. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and so on. Until I lose my place, usually around the 5-digit mark. Calms my thoughts. Be constantly tired from untreated sleep apnea. I just got this app called Luna and surprisingly it actually works very well. I'm not gonna pay for the subscription though. I like to walk around in the dark, it calms me for some reason. Design spaceships in your head. Getting down into the nitty-gritty details. I'm not an engineer or architect, so they're clearly inviable, but it lets the mind drift off. Plus then you probably dream about spaceships rather than having nightmares, so, bonus. I watch a lot of YouTube. Various things, but it seems the stuff I'm always the most interested in, that's when I fall asleep. But for my trick, I will do the alphabet and saw 4 things that start with that letter. Apple, aardvark, advantage, ass, beauty, beast, bears, British, and so on. Most of the time I don't make it through, but if I do, rinse and repeat. Use the 4-7-8 breathing method. Guided meditation helps. I always fall asleep with it. I like to jump and run around like a child till I'm tired. Not using your phone or any screens for an hour before bed. Tart cherry juice. Take a walk before bed. It's healthy to get exercise and you'll be tired and will fall asleep quicker. Right now I'm making myself extra cold so I can wrap up in blankets and get that wave of, oh yeah. Buy a metal plate about 2.5 inches thick and then gently place the metal on 2 bricks like a karate board. Then count to 10 and then quickly slam your head into the metal. Bam, you should be asleep. If not, just ask somebody to hit you over the head with a 2x4 wooden plank. I do the math for the Fibonacci sequence. Play your favorite or most memorable movie, TV show in your head. Visualize the scenes if you can. Drift into the story and sleep. Sleep meditation music. Doesn't always work without melatonin supplements, but listening to some music with some light lyrics helps my brain focus on that and not actually trying to sleep, which ironically makes me fall asleep faster. A fan blowing on my face. My brother and I had identical ceiling fans in our bedrooms as teens, new adults. I'd walk in my room to sleep and put my fan on high every night. My brother would always sleep with his on medium, but when he wanted to sleep hard or take a nap, then he'd put his fan on high. It was actually pretty genius. Eating some cheese. Play a movie on your phone, but flip your phone over. Try and listen to the movie and picture what's going on in your head. If you haven't done yet, check if you can turn off the amount of blue light in your phone or computer or have it automatically turn off in the evening. Many devices have a setting for that nowadays. Apparently blue light signals the body it has to stay awake, and that's basically the only reason people say you should not look at your phone in bed. But then again, I've done that and still have insomnia. I also like to imagine a nice situation with me in it in great detail. Can be a memory or a fantasy. Very helpful if you manage to make it the only thing on your mind. Sound machine white noise. Breathing deep with a 4, 7, 8 count. 4 seconds in. 7-second hold. 8-second exhale through the mouth. Consistent bedtimes. Even on the weekend. Melatonin 2 hours before. Turn off Reddit. Put on a podcast, audiobook, TV show I've listened to already but still enjoy to drown out my own thoughts. Then listen to that until I fall asleep. Thanks for watching. See you later.